I would like to... So, good evening, everyone. We are so happy to have you here today with us as we celebrate the International Education Week. And we have this special event as a collaboration work between the Teaching English Young Learners SIG and the Fulbright Commission in Egypt, and the teacher education SIG at the NileTESOL. We would love to have you today with us. And we need to know more about the Fulbright program, FLTA. I'm lucky. I'm one of the alumni of the program. FLTA stands for Foreign Language Teaching Assistantship. It was in the academic year 2017-2018. And Ms. Sarah Jalal is the coordinator of the program at the Binational Fulbright Egypt office. We would love to welcome you, Ms. Sarah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Iman, for the warm welcome and for having us today. It's really lovely to be with you. I would also like to thank Ms. Isra and Ms. Salma for joining us and for being with us and for also coordinating this session. I'm personally very happy to be here and very excited to talk about the FLTA program. I think it's a great opportunity that Ms. Iman is joining us because she's going to give you she's going to give you a real feeling of what it's like to be an FLTA in the US and what the program is all about. So let me first start by giving you some information about the Fulbright Commission in Egypt. So the Fulbright Commission in Egypt provides opportunities, different opportunities that we're going to talk about. And before we start talking about the commission, I just want to talk about the Fulbright program itself. The Fulbright program itself was established after the Second World War to establish cultural and educational exchange opportunities and connections between different countries. And the Commission in Egypt celebrated this year actually its 75th anniversary. So we've been in Egypt since 1949. 49, yes, I'm very bad with numbers. Since 1949, and this year we celebrate our 75th anniversary. Throughout all of those years, we gave over 8,000 grants for graduate students, for professionals, for teachers, for artists, to go to the US, study and develop professionally. And we also have opportunities for American scholars, students, and professionals to come and get training or conduct research in Egypt. So we're truly binational in that sense. The Commission also has binational funding through the US Department of State and the Government of Egypt. And our board of directors consists of 4 Egyptian members and 4 American members, and the chair of our board is His Excellency Minister Dr. Ayman Ashur, the Minister of Higher Education, and also on our board are the USAID and the US Embassy and the Supreme Council of Universities, among others. So without further ado, let me talk about the Fulbright FLTA program. This is a program specifically for you. This is a program for English teachers who are starting off their career, who want to develop their professional experience in teaching, who maybe would like to improve their language proficiency or improve their sense of the American culture and society, who would like to go beyond their comfort zone and try new things and see new people. So the program provides the opportunity for teachers who teach English as a foreign language or English as a second language, teachers who teach American studies or English or American literature, and also on a case-by-case basis, journalism and media studies and Arabic as a foreign language teachers. The program provides them with the opportunity to go to the US for 1 academic year, which is typically from 9 to 10 months, They go and they develop their English language proficiency, they improve their teaching skills and their knowledge of US culture and society. And of course, on the US side, the program allows US institutions to develop the instruction of foreign languages. And we're going to talk about this in a moment. So the program design is basically that you go as an FLTA, you serve as a teaching assistant at the Arabic department at a university or a college in the US. So you go and you teach Arabic and you work with a teacher or you have like a supervisor who works with you on teaching Arabic to the students. As you can see if you can see the pictures, you can see that FLTAs give lectures on Egypt. They host food clubs. Every year we get pictures from people cooking delicious Egyptian food in the US. They host language clubs. They host movie nights. They do all sorts of cultural activities that showcase Egyptian culture and encourage students to really learn the Arabic language and have this passion for it. And also at the same time, which of course, by doing so, by teaching Arabic as a foreign language, there is so much that we learn about teaching a foreign language because you see how students face different obstacles. You see things from a fresh eye, and this can all help you in your own teaching of English as a foreign language here in Egypt. Of course, by working in the US environment and with the US supervisor, you also have access to cutting edge technology, of course, as needed. You have access to know about new methodologies and new methods of teaching, and you can have all kinds of conversations that would help you professionally. And also on the academic level, you get to enroll in 2 courses per semester, so a total of 4 courses that are related to your specialization. So you can take courses related to teaching, to maybe linguistics, to literature, if this is what you're interested in and you think this is what's going to benefit you. So you benefit on the academic level, of course, through the courses that you take and the courses on the graduate level. So this is very helpful. And you put these courses or you put this knowledge into practice in the classroom. And like we said, there's a huge cultural component because you facilitate these cultural events, language clubs, film clubs, and all of these other activities. And you also engage very much in the host community that you're going to. So it's a very, very dynamic program. So much is going on. And we always encourage FLTAs to go above and beyond and to make the best of the program. Don't just go to class and then go back to your room and study. No, please make the best of the program. So it's very important that you also engage in your host community if there are volunteer activities, if there are outreach projects, because a lot of FLTAs actually go and give maybe a class at a school, at the local community, or other kinds of services that may be recurrent or maybe just a one-time experience. So it's a very dynamic program. The program is available for application in February. So we accept applications from February to June, July. The deadline is announced on our website upon the announcement of the program. So right now, since we're not accepting applications, the deadline hasn't been determined yet. And an application is completely online. You don't need to come to our office. You don't need to print anything. You just apply online completely. So let me talk to you a little bit about the eligibility criteria for this program, so we can later talk about the application process and the required documents and stuff. This program is for Egyptian citizens who are residing in Egypt throughout all the application and selection stages. So people have to be living and working in Egypt. This is the program for early career teachers because maybe if you have, and by early career teachers, we mean people who have less than 7 years of teaching experience. So there is a maximum teaching experience requirement, but there is no minimum requirement. And the reason is if you have more than 7 years of experience, this program is you might be a little bit overqualified for this program, or maybe it will not meet your professional needs at this point. Um, so it's perfect for early or mid-career teachers, more like earlier teachers. You need to have a bachelor's degree in any field of study because sometimes people of course, graduates of faculties of education, of arts, of ALSON are all welcome to apply, of course. But also, if you've graduated from another field of study and then you've transitioned to teaching and now you teach English, you can also apply. Of course, applicants are required to complete all the steps of the application and the assessment and the selection processes, and we're going to talk about them in a bit. And the program really, really supports individuals with disabilities. We really encourage any teacher who has any kind of disability to apply because the program will provide accommodation as needed throughout the process. So we really encourage you to apply. English teachers are required to, applicants for this program are required to submit a proof of English language proficiency. We accept any of the below scores. We accept the TOEFL ITP with a score of 550. We accept the TOEFL IBT with a score of 79. We accept the IELTS with a score of 6, the Duolingo with a score of 105. And we also accept the English proficiency test from Egyptian universities. So you can go to the nearest Egyptian public university and ask for the English proficiency test. They call it the local TOEFL or the test that graduate students need to take so they can register for their studies. And you can take whichever test, of course, from the ones in the list on the list that fits you. There is no preference for any test over the other. You just need to submit one of them. So, and it's of course very important. On our website, you will find a huge table of places where you can take the test. Like we said, the proficiency test is from any public Egyptian university. Of course, the TOEFL ITP, you can take it at Amid East if you're living in Cairo or Alexandria. There are other places as well at other governorates. The Duolingo is online. The TOEFL IBT you can search for on their website, and the Duolingo, I think we said the Duolingo is online. So people who are not eligible to apply for this program are people who are, of course, US citizens or are green card holders, of course, and also people who work at any institution that is related to the US Department of State or is funded by the US Department of State, like people who work at the Binational Fulbright Commission in Egypt. And the relatives till the fourth up to the fourth kin. So people who work at anything related to the U.S. Department of State or the USAID. So places like maybe Amid East, the U.S. Embassy, and so on. These people are not eligible to apply. Now, about the required documents that you're required to submit, like we said, it's an online application. The online application is really pretty simple. It's all about you. They're all questions about what you've studied, where you've worked, what are your goals, what do you want to do, how do you see the program benefiting you. It's not a really complicated application. It's a little bit long, but we have so much material on how to fill it out. We have a recorded session where we go through the application step by step. We have a detailed application instructions document that explains in detail, like if you click here, you're going to do so and so. So it's really easy to apply. And in the online application, you submit all of the following documents. So it's one application, you just upload everything. You're required to submit transcripts for all post-secondary degrees. So your bachelor's degree, or I don't know if you did a diploma, if you did a master's degree, if you did a PhD, whatever it is, you need to submit a transcript for it, preferably in English. You have to submit 3 recommendation letters. And the recommendation letters are such an important part of the application because the review committees read your recommendation letters. our partners in the US who do the selection process look at them, and the US universities look at them. So there's such an important component, and it's not about who writes them. Of course, it's very important that who writes the letter of recommendation is not my mom or not my best friend who is going to write a glowing recommendation letter. Of course, it needs to be someone professional, someone who supervised me, someone who I worked with closely and was on a higher level, who was not a colleague, basically. Um, but it does not need to be the CEO of the place where I work or the I don't know, the school principal. It doesn't need to be someone very high up, just someone who supervised you in a way or another, or worked with you in a way or another, and who works with you very closely and will write a strong recommendation letter. So it's important that someone knows you well and likes you very much to write a good recommendation letter for you. Of course, you have to submit the English language proficiency test score that we talked about, any one of the ones that we've mentioned. And you have to submit the actual test score and not just report that I took the IELTS and got a 6.5. You need to submit the actual score. Um, you need to submit your national ID and the CV. And the CV is very important, so please make sure to include everywhere all the positions that you held. Please include dates of like you worked at this school from this date till this date and so on. If someone traveled to the US on a J1 or J2 visa, please submit a copy of it, and yani, please submit a personal photo. So this is a fully funded program. The program covers international travel from Egypt to the US and from the US to Egypt. You have a stipend while you're there, or what people call pocket money. So you get a monthly stipend for your necessities and food and rent and what so on. You get health benefits coverage in case anything happens while you're in the US. And of course, the university tuition is provided by those institutions. So you don't have to worry about tuition or any of that. Um, so, like we said, it's a fully funded grant. And there are just a couple of important notes that we want to highlight. So, like we said, the program is for 9 to 10 months. And after you finish the program, you have to return back to Egypt. And we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but part of the reasons behind this program is for you to go back and to improve language instruction in your community. So it's very important that you return after you complete the program, and of course, it's a visa requirement. So yeah, and this is one-time program. You can only travel on it once. It's not renewable, so you cannot like travel and you have a great program and you want to do another year. No, you have to come back. And it's a non-degree program, so you don't get a master's degree or a diploma after you finish it. You get a certificate that you have participated in a Fulbright program, and this is very prestigious. And of course, you get a certificate that you participated in the FLTA program at this specific university, but it really opens doors. It opens doors for more scholarships and more travel if this is what you want to do. It opens door for um, professional development and better professional and academic opportunities in Egypt and outside of Egypt. So a really good opportunity. And if you finish a course and you would like to have a transcript for it, you can have a transcript for the courses that you take. And while you're in the US, you cannot pursue a graduate degree. You can take the courses that you're required to take, but you cannot take a graduate degree while you're there. I think I skipped the slide. Okay. Um, so these are the important notes that we want to talk about. We usually get a lot of questions about the review stages, so let's talk a little bit about them. The first review stage is called the inter-office, which is a very basic stage where we just read the applications. We don't even like read the applications as in read them closely and read the essays. This is at later stage. At this point, very basically, we just check that the application is complete, that this person has answered all the questions and has submitted all the required documents and so on. So if I'm an excellent candidate and I submitted outstanding essays, but I did not submit an English test because for any reason I did not submit an English test, I will not even pass to the next review stages where people can really see how amazing I am. I will be eliminated from the very first stage. So it's very important um, that you make sure you submit a complete application. This is extremely important. And if you have any questions, you can always send us an email or call us. We're very reachable, so please ask us if you have any questions. After that, we have the technical review stage where we actually read your essays and read your recommendation letters and look at the CV and at your experience and your goals and so on. So this is also a very important stage. The application has um, three essay questions, three main essay questions. One is about your objectives and motivations for applying for this program. One is about how you're going to teach Arabic in the US, and one is about how you're going to share your culture in the US. And these questions are very important for the review committee to understand you better before they get to meet you in the interview. So, yeah, please, if you're going to work on your application and on your essays, give them time, put effort into them. Please don't, you're teachers, I don't need to be saying this to you, but of course, plagiarism and writing the essay entirely through using AI, I'm sure you see a lot of messes in your work and in your just dealing with students, I can imagine. So, of course, this is a big no. So, yeah, the essays are very, very important for us. And finally, not finally, but people who pass from the technical review stage go to the final review stage, which is the interviews. Um, the interviews for the FLTA program are a little bit different. Of course, they're done in English and the application is in English and so on. But part of the interview is actually done in Arabic and it's done in modern standard Arabic. Because since you're going to be teaching Arabic in the US, of course, they need to evaluate your modern standard Arabic proficiency. So this is part of the interview. So if you are not very proficient in MFA, you can start working on it little bit يعني bit by bit till the interviews because the interviews are usually done in September, late August, September. So you have plenty of time to work on it. And people who pass through the interview stages reach the nomination stages and then they start planning for the travel and choosing the university and so on. So that's about our review stages. Before we move on to important tips, I just want to highlight a couple of our review criteria, which is very much related to the review stages and which can help you work on your essays, inshallah, when the application is open. We focus very much on the person's commitment to the field and commitment to serving the field and their community upon their return. This is what we call the multiplier effect. So it's very important that when you answer the questions, you think of how will this program benefit me and how would it allow me to benefit other people. So this is very important. We also, of course, look at English language proficiency, Arabic language proficiency. We look at the person's character. Maybe this is more in the interviews because this is such a dynamic program and you will be dealing with professors, you will be dealing with students, you will be dealing with so many people. So you need to be flexible and open to meeting other people and learning from other people. You need to be dynamic and outgoing and eager to share your culture and your language. You need to be, of course, mature and dependable because you're going to be responsible for students there. So you need, of course, these are very important qualities. So these are all things that we evaluate. And another piece of advice is to please read the application guidelines carefully. They will help you very much as you fill your application. Of course, please answer all the essay questions. We've talked about this and avoiding plagiarism. And like we said, all the documents are submitted online. You do not submit anything by email or by physical mail or anything. You can just submit your application online. And please reach out to us if you have any questions. Send us emails, call us, attend our sessions. We have detailed sessions about the programs, and we have these recorded sessions and short, frequently asked questions. We really have a lot of material to help you, and we are more than happy to. So please reach out to us because sometimes things change. Things change from one year to the other, and when people build expectations or make plans based on anecdotal information that is from previous years, sometimes it's not accurate because things change. So please reach out to us if you need anything. And this is our contact information. And our email, our phone number, and the QR code to our website. And I think now would be a great time, now that you know a little bit about the program and what it does. I think now is a great time for Miss Iman to share her experience. I think this will give you a much more detailed and more in-depth understanding of the program. So the mic is yours, Miss Iman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Allow me if I can call you Sarah in this formal setting, but
Please.
feel like when I see you each time. Thank you so much with going over the steps of the interview and the selection process. And during this journey, I started to recall the memories. And what I can tell people about application and applying and the interviews, Fulbright doesn't overwhelm you at all. You will feel at ease. The only stress you will have it because it's an interview. You want to pass it and you want to have this scholarship because a lot of teachers apply to it, but few numbers are accepted. So it's very, it's not challenging. The right word is, it's not challenging, but the truly selecting people who like deserve it, people who work hard on themselves. And what my advice to you is be genuine, honest, having integrity, represents yourself at the best way you can. And as I told, be honest. When it comes to me, before having the scholarship, I was a part-time instructor at the American University in Cairo. All what I know about myself that I am an ambitious person. I wanted to do a lot of things in life. But after the program, it reshaped my personality in general and as a teacher in specific. I was teaching the AUC, the School of Continuing Education, teaching young learners. I would tell you what I did during the program and what happened later. Actually, few things. Okay, can you allow me, Sarah? Miss Sarah, can you allow me to share?
Of course.
Thank you. Okay. 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 I want to tell you when I started to, I was teaching 101 and 012, and my university was Stetson University. It's in Florida, a small area called D-Land. Students attend Arabic classes for different reasons. It depends on their major. What do they want to do after graduation? The thing is, when you feel or we see the change in your students, not what you give them, but what they will show you later. So let me show this example photo with you. One of my students, she changed her, she added the Arabic keyboard to her phone, and she started to write my name in Arabic. That means that she is engaged in learning. She wants to learn it. Another thing which I recommend, if you can do it with your other FLTAs, Arab or from any part of the world, when you exchange sessions about each one's country and culture, because the main focus of the program is the culture. So we started to invite each other online. At that time, it wasn't online in the way we know it, but it's called the video conferencing. And I invited, for example, my Lebanese FLTA and my Moroccan FLTA. And this was like an impactful event on the students, because our mission is not to like to drift their mindset, but it's to broaden it. So even if they know this perspective about Egypt, now they have different perspectives. And the judgment, it belongs to them, is not to us. But just my role is just to present what I have it, and they compare and evaluate and reach a decision by themselves. Because one of the main elements in the American education, they build the personality of their students, how to be independent thinker and independent in general. So I was trying to focus on this. I try like, okay, don't tell them or don't tell them, give them the answer, don't do this, just they will do it and they will find the answer by themselves, or reach a decision, or choose between different things in their lives. Another thing, also an activities about the culture. I wasn't just focusing on my Arabic classes. I was trying to participate in different events or programs, and we had teaching English for Latin community in D-Land. And if you do not know about this, the Latin community is a major or a community besides the African community in the US. And what has surprised me, that all people attended my class. They are 70. And she's coming to learn English, because for years she was just isolated on her culture and language, and she didn't communicate with people in English, and she felt, no, this doesn't work with her, and she wants to develop her business, and she wants to interact with more people, and now she's attending. And for me, okay, there is no certain age for learning or growing. We may learn the lesson late, but it's not impossible. We still, if you are 70 or 60, you still can learn. And this is something, for me, one of the distinguished thing about the American culture. You have all the possibilities, no limits. You are the one who limits yourself, not the society, not your family, whatever. Another thing, as a young learner, as a teaching mainly young learners, I found something very special. My university does it every year, which is holding cultural day for schools in the D-Land area. And wow, they want students to learn about the cultures of other countries, not just within the books, or even having events on at their schools, but also when they come to the university, they meet someone like me or other FLTAs or any other international students and learn about them. And surprisingly, most of the students are coming to my station They wanna engage in writing the ancient Egyptian calligraphy. They want to make the Ramadan lantern, and they learn about Egypt in the way of storytelling. I would tell them I picked the two characters, Sunuhi and Bakar, and as like taking them in a journey to know about the governates, the location of my country, and like students like, oh, they were like fully engaged with listening to my story and then doing the activities, and this is something I appreciate it in the American students because they, most of them, I cannot say like everyone, but for me, I say like everyone, if I can say this, not just most, they appreciate little things you do to them, and they understand the impact of anyone is helping them to be better. And this is impact their personality later because they learn more and they grow better. Then after this was, and also traveling, I traveled to almost 7 states. I can't remember number of cities, but I remember number of states. I knew I knew many things about the U.S. And now, whenever I have a conversation with a colleague or at school with my students, I have something to say. I know, yes, there they have it in that way because you transfer the experience to other people who do not have the chance to travel, and this is something I think we should all do it. Let me tell you, after the experience, and I was feeling very sad because I had a family there and I'm going back to Egypt. But now I don't feel that sad. Of course, I miss people, but I mean, I didn't, for example, have my master's degree in the US or stayed for other years to um, to study in the US. This is not my destiny. I'm not the one for academic studies, but I'm a professional teacher, and I felt now, yes, traveling back again to US is something good, but also I found my purpose here in Egypt. Why do I have to come back? Yes, serving the society is important. I want something better for our Egyptian society, and I try to do this through different activities. First of all, I was an alumna in the a member in the Egypt US Alumni Council, and we do like projects and workshops to serve the alumni, whether they are in the educational field or other fields. So it was a good chance. I spent there like 1 year. Then I felt, no, I want to be more specific. I felt like, no, I will serve better if I am a member at the NileTESOL. But at that time, it was like 2020, 2021. I didn't know how to do this. But the only thing I was able to do it at that time is to give presentations and workshops at the NileTESOL conference. And this is something also I learned from the Fulbright experience. I have never done any workshop. I don't know about conferences. I only attended one NileTESOL in 2016 as an attendee. But writing proposal, I would just attending sessions on how to write proposal, but I didn't have the chance. I don't know how to do this, but luckily Fulbright gave me this opportunity. Even I feel that now I did a lot of mistakes, but they accept our mistakes because they want us to grow. We have something called the mid-year conference, and they send us emails if we want to participate. So I wrote, I want, and I did my presentation. But this helped me later to be a presenter at the NileTESOL for several years. I have done it so far for 4 years, and it reshaped my skills. I became more professional in writing proposal, and not just writing it, I can transfer now the knowledge to other people to teach them, or if someone asks me about proposal writing, I can give him or her a better advice. This is the thing. So I was just back to the idea of helping the community by giving presentations. And then I found that the RELO, the Regional English Language Office, offers mentorship program, and I applied and I was accepted. And was like my gate to the NileTESOL, now as a shared position as a coordinator with Miss Isra or Dr. Isra Muhammad. Now I can, like, through the RELO, I started to reach out more teachers through workshops, doing it with the RELO. For teaching English, we cover different topics like the cons and pros of teaching online and offline. Other things about how to integrate culture in our EFL lessons. And then, because of my participation, I think this was like a credit for me to be accepted as a coordinator at the NileTESOL in such an important SIG. One last thing I can tell you how was it important. As I told you, I went there in 2017. This is one of my courses I studied there. It was Curriculum 21st Century, Essential Education for a Changing World. And parts of this book, it talks about, for example, teaching your students about sustainability. At that time, I think, at least to my experience, I didn't have someone to teach me about it. But because I learned about it here, 5 or 3 years later, I took workshops and training on we have to teach our students about climate change, like sustainability. So this, and one of the things also, it wasn't only within the book, the pages of the book as something theoretical. I also engaged in environmental activities on campus at Stetson. So I link between theory and practice. And this is one of the things, as a young learner teacher, you can apply it at your school. Don't just teach them what's in the books. Go beyond this and do extracurricular activities. Take them to a trip. This will help a lot your students to understand what you teach them, even with games, engaging activities, whatever we talk about it in our teaching development sessions. It's important to make it more practical. So I was lucky to do about this. And one last thing, I feel gratitude to it. As I told you, we were using something called the video conferencing. For us now, it's the Zoom. Like, because campuses and universities in the United States are like far apart. And to make it more practical, I can invite someone to be a speaker or teach in another university by the Zoom, the video conferencing. At that time, I was shocked, like, I'm not gonna do this. But at the same time, I have to take the scholarship. I felt like taking steps back, but after the experience, no, it wasn't that bad. I learned things, and I was more lucky when we have the pandemic, because everyone suddenly should use Zoom online. At least the Fulbright program broke this ice for me. I'm ready to do it. I don't have this shock to say no or not. Khalas, I'm already in. I did it before, so I'm a step ahead. Now apply it. This was briefly my story with FLTA. I can say or write pages and pages and pages about it. It never ends at all. I can speak today, tomorrow, after a year, and still the FLTA program is impactful on my life. As I changed it, you don't know me in 2017 as a person, how I was, but now I'm a different person. As a girl, I know what I want, how to get it, more confident in my abilities, and even with challenges, I still um, um, having the power or strong enough to face challenges and overcoming them and move to the next step. It will never take me back as like I'm totally falling down. No, I may fall, but it's not falling as someone did. No, I fall, learn, and keep the journey or move on. So thank you, Fulbright. Thank you, FLTA, all the coordinators I have, and Sarah. And I wish you all the best, and to have candidates that's who benefit from such program.
Thank you so much, Iman, for the wonderful presentation and for showing us all these
Yes,
nice
she
pictures.
inspired
And
me.
yes, it's very inspirational. It's
Of
lovely.
course.
And I'm so happy that you had such an enriching program and it's continued to impact your career as you went on and did all of these amazing things. So I'm just very happy for you, and I'm very happy to that we have this partnership or this friendship, or I'm just very happy to be here. So, and thank you for having me. I hope it was beneficial for the audience. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
Please, yes.
Yes, I
Great.
think, yeah. Thank you, dear Ms. Sarah, for such a wonderful presentation and such a session. Actually, I appreciate your attendance here, and you presented
Thank
some fruitful information for all attendees here. Actually, there is here a question from Ms. Basma. She says, can teachers join Fulbright scholarships more than one time?
Yes, if they are applying for different programs, of course. Of course, priority goes to people who haven't really traveled to the US on a Fulbright program before, but they can apply, and some people do get to travel, yes.
It sounds great.
Mm. Um, do you have any other question?
So, are there any other questions?
I want to just advise people, please, till someone is
Yeah,
having
of course.
while you are writing your application, answering the questions, as Ms. Sarah said, we have orientation. They do orientation sessions, and also listen. Yes, listen, because this has helped me. يعني I know points I from the orientation sessions. أنا كنت على الله يعني I'm sorry to say this in Arabic بس كنت على الله فعلا يعني I have well, no one told me before about Fulbright فما عنديش يعني someone told me so now like I am a little I have a background knowledge never, but because attending the orientation and writing down notes, they want, please show us in your personal statement you have these personal traits. Okay, and I'm writing down and like okay I'll do it. I'm right.
بنغششهم.
And luckily now you have YouTube. You will find many interviews or people like our the alumni volunteering to talk about the program. So maybe you have more practical insight about how does it look like. So when you write, you can imagine what can you do in the future. This is from my perspective. I don't know about, but I'm just thinking my personal story and how it helped me. Anyway, please, Ms. Isra, go with the rest of the
Yeah,
question.
thank you for such advice. I'm sure that, yeah, it will help. Yeah, thank you very much, dear. Also, Ms. Basma asks also, is there a difference between Fulbright and SUSI, SUSSI?
The SUSI is a program that the U.S. Embassy provides. It's also a very good program, but it's different. It's very different from the FLTA program. So you can compare programs and see what fits your goals best. You can apply to one of them and then the other if you would like. It's up to you.
So that's great.
Mm.
Ms. Alaa Talat, she says, would you like to make sure of the opening of the application when it opened?
The application will be available on the 1st of February. Typically, it's on the 1st of February, so that's when. So you can just keep following our social media pages or our website, and you will see the announcement. But it should be open on the 1st of February.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Fawzia also asks, is there a limited age average?
No, not at all. Just the teaching experience maximum that we said, a maximum of 7 years, but no age limit or age requirement.
Oh, that's great, dear. I'd like also to thank Ms. Hala Nabil. She shares the curriculum 21st century essential education for changing the world. So that's amazing.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so nice.
I will share this for the all alumni and all the yes members of the NileTESOL, so that all people get the advantage of such a wonderful book. Thank you very much, dear Hala.
Okay, because Miss Isra, can I add something? Because we
Of
talked
course.
about 21st century,
Yeah.
and right on Wednesday we are inviting Dr. Brown, Shankar Brown from Stetson, and she was yes my professor. She
Oh.
This is lovely.
so yes, she will talk about teaching through technology, and I highly recommend it. You will learn a lot from her. Sorry. So please make sure that you attend our Wednesday's session. Yes.
Yes. Gonna be a wonderful presentation too. Thank you, dear.
So I think
Of course, Mr. Omar, I will share the soft copy of the curriculum. By the way, I already download. Yeah, I have already downloaded this book, and I will share it right now on the TEYL group so that you can get the soft copy. Thankful to Ms. Hala. Thank you very much, Ms. Hala. And thank you, Ms. Iman, for sharing us such a wonderful book. Thank you.
Thank you, and would like to thank Miss Sarah Galal.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, exactly.
so
But yeah, I'm very proud of this cooperation. And I wish all the best for Fulbright, binational Fulbright Egypt, for more success, and adding to the 75 years, another 75 years, and even more. And all the best for our audience. Good luck with your application, or in share with other people who still eligible for applying for the grant, and start to check the website of Fulbright or the Facebook page starting from February. I mean, it's our job starting from February. I think.
yes, please. Thank you so much, Iman, and thank you so much, Dr. Isra, and to the audience, of course,
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Thank you, and
Thank you.
we wish you the best of luck. Thank you, and
You
good
too.
luck with your session on Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good
Have a nice
night.
day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.